Market update here on the 30th. So looking at all the charts here, I looked at all tech, QQQ, SPY. Everything looks bullish to me. All looks bullish still. And a lot of people are ready for this to tank. We did have a 0.4% sell-off on Friday. Maybe the bears are getting a little bit of hope there, but the charts are still bullish here. SPY, look at this. On Friday, I said this is potentially the start of a breakout for a fifth wave. Instead, we pulled back. And I was talking about a C wave down, and we got that. So if this is a C wave down, the max it can go is 537.71. It's already hit the minimum, which was 545.50. I think the fourth wave is probably finished, with the potential, if it is red, to come down here to like 540 and then go to new highs. So SPY looks very bullish to me. It actually just crossed the parallel line right there on Friday. So I think it's ready to go higher. My target minimum is 558. So SPY looks very good. Let's go over QQQ. Same thing. If you just look at the overall structure of this, and I think the fourth wave might have ended a little bit sooner on QQQ, and this might actually be a first wave higher. Going over the target and projections here, I'm looking for 505 on QQQ. So you got another 5-6% on QQQ, and that goes along with all the tech stocks. You can see here the fourth wave ended right here outside the parallel line, and then we got this move up, retrace. So it should end up doing something like this. Maybe like that. So QQQ and SPY, both very bullish. Maybe SPY 3, 4, 5% higher. QQQ 5% higher. And I could be totally off. Maybe it just goes way, way higher than that. But I just know overall it's going to go higher. Let's go over AMD next. I already have it drawn up here. So this is a very bullish chart. A lot of people don't think so because what happens is you get these moves that just go back and forth like this, and it just changes everybody's perception. Everyone thinks this is bearish. Back and forth. You hurt their confidence every time you bring it up here and then you take it back down. Everyone is getting more and more, they're losing their confidence that this move's actually going to take place. And that's exactly what's happened here. If you go on any message board or anyone talking about AMD, they're probably going to be bearish overall. So I'm not just based on the chart. I think that we started the C wave already right here at 153. We filled the gap down here. We took off here to 167. We pulled back, had another move higher here, retraced. I think we're in a nested third wave starting this week. I'm looking for like 176 for the overall third wave. This is kind of misleading here. So third wave right here, this would actually be like this. So third wave right here, the overall move is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. I'm looking for like 185, 190 on AMD, and it could happen quick too. Probably over the next couple weeks, like other stocks, it's going to go up to 185, 190. Microsoft, same thing. I have it drawn up here. Made a third wave here. It didn't quite hit the 1.61 fib, but you can see here we have the ABC move that you're seeing on the indexes as well, like that. That's the fourth wave. And I'd be looking, it could potentially come down here to 432 maximum, but it's probably already finished. And fifth wave can probably go all the way up to the high 400s. It's actually going to be pretty similar ending spot to QQQ. They're going to end around the same area, right around 500, I think. So Microsoft potentially has another 10% higher. Tesla. So Tesla is actually one of the charts that, at this point, with how far this move's gone up, I'm bullish on it overall because this structure is still bullish. Somehow it's going to get up here. somehow it's going to get up here. But this move right here does not look like an impulse move to me. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens. I still have bullish positions. I have a put as well. What I do know is we are above the 20 and the 200s right here at 206. If we were to cross 206, then we'd definitely be going up here to probably 230, 240 like I've been talking about. But we need to break above the 200. So I don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe this is actually 1, 2, 3. We're pulling back for a fourth wave. We get a fifth wave like that. And this does end up being like that over the next month. I would guess that's probably going to happen 9 out of 10 times based on what everything else is going to do. So I think that Tesla's coming up to this area within the next month or so, and then I'd be bearish on it. Just based on the market, I do think that this pattern is going to play out. This pattern is going to play out. And then after the election, I think that you're probably going to see something like this. I don't know if it's going to go to 600, but I do think you're going to see the final move higher after this retraces one more time, probably into the election or into the end of 2024. So 240 to 230 is my sell area. You can see the parallel line. It hits it pretty much perfectly. And this is some kind of contracting triangle. So Tesla still very bullish. Meta still very bullish. I'm glad I sold at 517 though. I can reload now at down here as long as it doesn't take off tomorrow. This stock's been great to trade. I think that it's just completing a fourth wave. It could potentially be a first wave too, but I don't really like the structure for a first wave. If it is a first wave, I'd actually say it's probably a diagonal. So I'd actually be looking at it like this. Something like that. Because this looks like an ABC move to me. This looks like ABC to me. So it's either a fourth wave is ending right here, down here, or this is a second wave diagonal. And you're going to see a third wave, pull back, fifth wave like that. And then that would be it for Meta. That'd be it. Apple, another one very bullish. I think this is finishing up a third wave. And I have it all drawn out here. This is basically this could be a B wave too. And this could be the C wave down, but I think this is probably a nested move. So 1, 2, whoops. This is a nested move right here. So 1 like that, pull back, and a fifth wave higher like that. Can it get all the way up here to 240? That seems like a lot, but maybe it will. Based on what the overall market's probably going to do. Either way, I think that this is going to retrace back in to this first wave later. I think it can come all the way down here to 196 after this. Because if this was an actual impulse move, then I'd be looking for 263, and I don't think that's going to happen. So I think this is probably going to end up being a diagonal, sell off into the election, and then after the election go higher. Nvidia, same thing. Ready for it to go higher. Perfect setup here. I'd be buying on any weakness down to like low 120s. My stop would be below 117. I think this is a second wave. We got a third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave coming. And Nvidia could be a pretty big gainer. And at the minimum, if it ends up not working out, you're still looking at an ABC move like this. You're still looking at that. So it's a good buy here with a stop below the low. So those are the tech stocks I'm going to go over today. And then I went over a firm on Friday. I don't necessarily like this setup though. I bought it based on the option flow. And so I won't be surprised if I end up selling this on Monday if I don't see a bigger move. It looks like an ABC off the bottom. ABC corrective move. So I don't necessarily like it that much. But this does look like an impulse move. This right here looks like an impulse move too. So we'll see what we get. We're getting a corrective move off the bottom. It's in daily demand right here. It's actually outside daily demand now, but it stopped in daily demand. Filled the gap right here at 30. I'm looking for a retrace to at least 31.90 when it does retrace though. We'll see. If it ends up going crazy higher with the option flow, then I would say that maybe this ended up being a corrective move. It looks like an impulse move down though to me. But if it does end up going higher, then you could potentially see 34, 35 bucks. So I'm not crazy about it after looking at the chart though. And then Rivian, I mentioned this is probably going to 12, and it sold off more into the end of the day, and it's looking more and more like it's probably going to come down here and fill the gap. So the 1.61 fib is right around 12 bucks. So I would say it's probably going to fill the gap. If it does come down here into 12, 13, then we know it's not a 5-wave move. The only thing it could be at that point, is an ABC move. So if it's an ABC move, you're still looking at higher prices. Either way, it's probably going to 20 bucks, in my opinion. So it could end up doing this. And maybe it ends up being WXY, because if this is ABC and then this is ABC, then you could be seeing this go bouncing out of here, out of the gap fill, up to here, pull back, like that. That wouldn't be bullish long term, but that would be a nice gap fill up here at 23 bucks. So short term, I'm just watching that gap fill at 12 bucks. We'll see if it hits. Let me zoom in here a little bit farther. And this actually looks like an impulse move down. You can see it pretty clearly. Let's see if we hit. We didn't hit the 1.61 fib yet. If it's down early in the day tomorrow, then look for 12.95 bounce and then another move lower down to 12 bucks. So 12.95 is the 1.61 fib. So here it is all drawn up. You'd probably be looking somewhere Tuesday, Wednesday down here at 12 bucks. So Rivian, I am bearish on short term, but long term, I think I'm pretty bullish. GME, let's take a look at that. So GME, I think I'm pretty bullish on GME from here, like everything else. And like I said in the previous videos, I think that this is ready to retrace back up here somewhere. So something like that is what I see. And then after that, it's going to be pretty bearish. That's what I see right there. So third wave would take it down here to 8 bucks, bounce, and then down here to 5 bucks. I know that doesn't really seem that realistic. They have actually a lot of cash. So I'm going to watch it and see how it goes. But short term, I think that this can go all the way up here to 30, 35 bucks, something like that. So GME looks pretty good for a long here. And Nike, let's go over Nike. Nike had a huge dip. I think they had slowing sales. And I have it marked here where I think this is probably going. This is daily or 2-day demand, one of the two. Let me see. I think it's like 2 or 3 day demand, maybe weekly. I think it's weekly. Whatever it is, it's 2 or 3 day demand, something like that. This has a gap fill at 69 bucks. You can see here, this was an impulse move. We retraced here. This is probably going down to, I think it can go to 60 bucks. You have a first wave right here. Let's see where the 1.61 fib of that is. So the 1.61 fib's at 68, 69 bucks. So this could technically end up going like this for a C wave. So I would not touch Nike yet. Let's draw a parallel line and just see if this broke. Yeah, it broke outside of that. So I think this is coming down farther. Down to here. This is the demand area you want to be buying. You could buy like right around 70 bucks and probably make some money off a bounce. But then it's probably going to come down here to 60 bucks. And this is probably, this might actually just sit there until the election now, just based on this. I could see it coming down here this week and then having like a fourth wave that's just like long and drawn out until we finish the bounce on everything else. And then into the election it sells off to 60 bucks. And then I'd probably be buying there because it's probably going to bounce back. This is probably, honestly, the end of a cycle right here on Nike. This could go lower after that. It could bounce back. Could go like this and then come lower when the market really pulls back. So Nike, I'm not bullish on. Everyone looks at these stocks and says, gotta buy, it's down 20%, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to bounce. Look at Lulu. Lulu, same thing. Apparel. Hasn't bounced at all. I played this around earnings and got lucky because it came up here to 330 and I could close everything out. And I actually sold a put the other day and I took profit really quickly because I didn't like the way it was moving. Overall, Lulu's got to bounce at some point because the overall structure is ABC. Down. So it's got to bounce out of here, but it's just taking its sweet time. Even on the weekly, you don't even see a green candle yet. It's just straight red since December of 2023. So that just goes to show you that Nike can just sit there for months. And it's not necessarily a good buy right now. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I went over some stocks, went over most of tech, a few other ones. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to look at. And good luck trading tomorrow. It is early morning here on Monday in Japan, but I will be trading same time you guys are later today. So good luck trading. I will talk to you soon. New update probably coming during the market because I'm not going to do it at the end of the market.